Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Right, the video you're about to see is a complete and utter expose of the apostate parasite. Honestly, this should hopefully address all these parasite supporters that are slithering around in my comment section who are messaging me with regards to this Adam building the Kaaba. So, because obviously I said in our rebuttal to his complete nonsense in Psalms 84, I asked a question. We believe as Muslims that our tradition is that Adam built the Kaaba, which spawned a new parasitic response video from the apostate parasite himself, focusing on this one particular point, ignoring everything else, just focusing on this one particular point. Well, mashallah, this brother has done a fantastic expose, humiliating takedown, and expose the hypocrisy of the apostate parasite. And I'm not going to give it too much away. Just watch it, and then I'm pretty sure I'm going to see all these comments about Adam building the Kaaba, calling me a donut for believing this, that, the other. Pretty sure they're all going to come down pretty rapid. And you should start looking at the apostate parasite and questioning, does this guy have a clue what he's talking about? Anyway, enjoy. Here comes the lion.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah, we'll be responding to Apos again on his claim about the Kaaba.
Ah, nice. Hamza's then brought up a small channel to defend his claims. I guess it's only fair the apostate prophet should be defended by a small YouTube channel. Let's see who will win this exchange. Minerva, the owl of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, or Inspector Gadget over there. Guys, imagine Athena coming to Earth and saying, Socrates' son, you were defending me for so long, so now I feel the need to please you in every way you like. Okay.
Yesterday, Apos uploaded a video in which he responded to Hamza, Khalil, and Zakir Hussein, who refuted his ridiculous Bakka video. Sorry, not Bakka. It's actually
a Baha
video. And he thought that he would expose their ignorance to the Muslim audience. Let's go and watch.
I have to make this short video in which I will show to everyone how ignorant these people are about their own religion. Islam makes the claim that the Kaaba is the first house built for Allah, and this is the most precious thing on the earth. It was built by Abraham according to Islam for...
I'm just going to stop it there. Don't we believe it was built by Adam originally?
Yes. It says that Abraham raised the foundations, so there was something there before his time anyway.
Don't we believe it was built by Adam, not Abraham? Yes. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but that's not true. I guess that's fine if you personally believe that. But is that the actual accepted Islamic belief?
The point Apos is trying to make here is that these people are giving their own personal beliefs, and that this is not the actual Islamic belief. Now he's going to explain to us why he thinks that this is not the actual Islamic belief.
Please tell me, where exactly do you get this from, that Adam built the Kaaba? Which Quran verse do you get it from? Which hadith do you get it from? Or do you get it from some secondary narrations by Islamic scholars and narrators?
You know what, Apos? I realize that each time you open your mouth, you either make yourself look sillier or you debunk a previous claim that you made. But in this case, you have debunked probably 90% of your videos, because most of your videos are based on tafsir of Ibn Kathir, tafsir of Al-Qurtubi, opinions of certain companions, interpretations of contemporary scholars. Now, in order to save your Bakka video,
A Baha
video.
Okay, first of all, you idiot, Baha is the actual pronunciation of the place in Hebrew. That doesn't remind in the slightest Mecca. You imbeciles read Baha, you thought it pronounced Becca, and then assumed Allah has dyslexia and meant Mecca. So, the jokes are on you. But let's see the evidence.
Wow. Now look at this. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for how it is pronounced. Let's listen to this. This is a Hebrew pronunciation that I randomly picked out of Psalms 84. Okay.
מזמור פ-ד' למנצח על הגיתית לבני קורח מזמור. מה ידידות משכנותיך, אדוני צבאות, נחשפה וגם קלטה נפשי לחצרות אדוני ליבי ובשרי, ירננו אל חי. גם ציפור מצאה בית ודרור כן לה, אשר שתה אפרוחיה, את מזבחותיך אדוני צבאות מלכי ואלוהי. אשרי יושבי ביתך עוד יהללוך סלע. אשרי אדם עוז לו בך מסילות בלבבם. עוברי בעמק הבכה.
Did you guys catch that?
You said Bacha.
Oh my God.
ין ישיתוהו.
Now, in order to save your Bakka video, or sorry, I mean
A Baha.
a Baha video, a Baha video, a Baha video, a Baha video.
Inspector Gadget, make this joke another 10 times. You are exposing us.
You're really willing to sacrifice all of your previous videos? What is even funnier is that Apos is even debunking his Kaaba argument.
If the necessary requirement to do polemics against Islam was accepting the Islamic sources as true, we would have been Muslims, wouldn't we, Inspector Gadget? Nice argument, my friend. Look what this guy said, that in order to use Islamic sources to do polemics against Islam, we need to believe on those sources. Really. So, in other words, I need to believe that Muhammad flew with a flying horse to 7 heavens in order to use this verse to expose Islam. That's a stupid argument.
Even if we go into the tafsirs, the interpretations of the Quran, very well-known ones, such as the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, which is the most renowned exegesis of the Quran in the world. It says further about this Quran verse, and proclaim to mankind the Hajj, meaning announce the pilgrimage to mankind and call them to perform pilgrimage to this house, which we have commanded you to build. And here, the interpreters of the Quran add a story, which is widely referenced and which is still distributed today, to this day, because it is based on several very reliable narrators. It was said that Ibrahim said, "O Lord, how can I convey this to the people when my voice will not reach them?" It was said, "Call them and we will convey it." So Ibrahim stood up and said, "O mankind, your Lord has established a house, so come on pilgrimage to it."
So, in order to prove his Kaaba argument, Apos went to Ibn Kathir, the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, and he narrated one story in the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, which is, by the way, not a Quranic verse and not a prophetic hadith.
Which Quran verse do you get it from? Which hadith do you get it from?
His argument is, premise 1, the apostate prophet used Tafsir Ibn Kathir to make his Kaaba claim. Premise 2, the apostate prophet then accepted the Muslim consensus against Adam building the Kaaba that rejected Ibn Kathir. Conclusion, therefore, the apostate prophet is a hypocrite and should also reject his previous videos in which he used interpretations. This argument fails because we don't need to accept interpretations in their entirety. It's not either or. That's a false dichotomy. In both cases, the apostate prophet claimed consensus and strong sources. Equally, if in his first argument about the Kaaba you can provide strong sources supported by Quran and Hadith against the tafsir of Ibn Kathir he used, you can also expose him, the same way he exposed Hamza and the other two Muslim apologists.
But is that the actual accepted Islamic belief? Please tell me, where exactly do you get this from? That Adam built the Kaaba? Which Quran verse do you get it from? Which hadith do you get it from? Or do you get it from some secondary narrations by Islamic scholars and narrators? I know for a fact that the most accurate and most authentic Islamic interpretation and Islamic telling of this story is that it was Abraham who built the house, raised the foundations, and built this cube, the Kaaba. The Quran says that Allah showed Abraham the location of the Kaaba, and Abraham then went there to build it. The Hadith described that Abraham built it. There is no authentic narration in the Hadith, and there is no Quran verse which says that it was built prior to that, or that it was built by Adam. I mean, don't trust me. Go on the most authentic sources here. Let me do it for you. Just Google it, okay? Let me just Google it for you. First, Islam QA, which is a very radical, extremely traditionalist website. The Kaaba was not in one place and then moved. Rather, it was built in the place where it is now, and it has not been moved from that time. The scholars differed as to who built the Kaaba. It was said that it was the angels, or Adam, or Abraham. The latter is the correct view. No proper source tells us about Adam building it. The next source is aboutislam.net. The question is, was it built by Adam or by Abraham and Ishmael? The answer is, some commentators of the Quran say that it was first built by Adam, and some others say that it was first built by the angels of this earth. The website then goes on explaining, it is not mentioned in any verse of the Quran or authentic hadith that it was built by Adam. Some commentators of the Quran say that it was first built by Adam, and some others say that it was first built by the angels on this earth. When Prophet Ibrahim arrived at the place of the Kaaba, the building itself did not exist. Even the city of Mecca had no inhabitants. Allah showed Prophet Ibrahim the site of the Kaaba, and then he and his son Ismail together raised its foundations and built it from the ground up. All other sources which tell you that Adam might have built the Kaaba will only give you the explanation that this is what some people hold.
Now, did Inspector Gadget said anything that remotely refutes this airtight argument based in the most strong traditional Islamic consensus? No, he didn't. The only thing he did is then say that because you rejected, let's say, some tafsirs, that means that you reject your old videos. Apostate Prophet. No, he doesn't. The Apostate Prophet doesn't need to believe any tafsir in order to use them to expose Islam. Detective O'Neill, if you think that's bad, we haven't even started. In the course of this video, you will disprove Islam. Now it's the, how you say, before you do sex, you just kiss. That is what's happening right now. Inspector Gadget. The sex is later.
And now Apos is setting a new criteria. It has to be a verse from the Quran, and it has to be a prophetic hadith. Opinions of scholars and narrators are not accepted. Let's leave the hypocrisy of Apos aside.
Let's hear that again, because maybe you have some problems in comprehension.
The scholars differed as to who built the Kaaba. It was said that it was the angels, or Adam, or Abraham. The latter is the correct view. No proper source tells us about Adam building it.
That's not rejecting the scholars. That's accepting the scholars. Kid. You are rejecting the scholars. And that exposes your hypocrisy. Okay? Do you like this girl? Tell me. We all do.
Since he used the tafsir of Ibn Kathir to prove that Abraham proclaimed to humanity to come to the Kaaba, let's use the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, this time against his claim. Here is the tafsir of Surah 2, verse 127. It says that Adam was the one who built the Kaaba. And of course, in the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, you'll find different opinions which says that Abraham built the Kaaba or the angels built the Kaaba. Let me anticipate how Apos is going to respond here. He will say that in the first case, which is Abraham proclaiming to humanity to come to the Kaaba, It's a Quranic verse. That's again is false. Because if you take the Quranic verse at face value, it's not clear who is getting the command to proclaim to humanity. Was it Prophet Abraham or was it Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? As I showed in my video, which appears in the link above. So Apos had to rely on interpretations.
Which Quran verse do you get it from? Which hadith do you get it from?
And now he's saying, no, I don't accept interpretations of scholars. I only accept Quran and Hadith.
I know for a fact that the most accurate and most authentic Islamic interpretation and Islamic telling of this story is that it was Abraham who built the house.
Well, last time I checked, Apos knows for a fact is not a good argument.
You are not exposing the apostate prophet now, you are exposing the most serious sources, Islamic sources, online. You found something in Arabic that supports your claim. What that means? That means that you deceive people. That means that your sources are not reliable. Isn't that right? Or maybe I'm wrong. So you get one thing reading the most serious sources online, the most serious Islamic traditional sites online, and a 16-year-old kid refutes them. And it's our fault. It's our fault because we don't know Arabic.
You need to provide evidences, Apos.
I mean, don't trust me. Go on the most authentic sources here. Let me do it for you. Just Google it, okay? Let me just Google it for you. First, Islam QA, which is a very radical, extremely traditionalist website. The Kaaba was not in one place and then moved. Rather, it was built in the place where it is now, and it has not been moved from that time. The scholars differed as to who built the Kaaba. It was said that it was the angels, or Adam, or Abraham. The latter is the correct view. No proper source tells us about Adam building it.
Let's deal with this. He's quoting Islam Q&A, and he's claiming that Islam Q&A is a traditionalist website, therefore it's going to give the most accepted opinion, the most authentic and accepted opinion. Fine, let me go to Islam Q&A. Let me just clarify this. The answers given in Islam Q&A website are given by variant scholars. So the one we have just seen is the opinion of one scholar. Now we will show you a different opinion from Islam Q&A. If Apos thinks whatever comes from Islam Q&A is the most accepted opinion, fine Apos, here is Islam Q&A. This is in Arabic. So here it says, والذي يترجح لنا هو القول الثاني وأن باني البيت هو آدم عليه السلام. What appears to us is that the second opinion is the correct one, which is that Adam was the one who built it. However, I don't like to end it this way.
You idiot, you just refuted Islam, you idiot. You idiot. You just said that we cannot trust Islamic sources. If you can read something and says that no way, it's Adam. And then in Arabic, in the same side, yes, it's Adam. That means Islam is refuted, my friend. You cannot even say the same thing in one side, my friend. And now look, guys, we just witnessed the debate of Hari Sultan with Daniel Hakikatsu, in which Daniel Hakikatsu says that he wants to implement offensive jihad, enslave the world, kill people, execute gays, what else? Beat women, slavery, introduce slavery. With these sources. You saw these sources, eh? And you said, they are very reliable. Let's execute people. Guys, you are a joke. Okay? So, but because you are such a good scholar and you know Arabic, I will accept what you say. I was defeated. Okay? I will accept that Adam made the Kaaba. Okay, now let's go to the sex. Kissing is over. Should we call, what was his name? Hamza Miat to join us. Hamza Miat, this scientist, insists the Kaaba was made by Adam. Okay, we know with 100% certainty Adam never existed. The fossil record and DNA confirmation proved that humans evolved from a common ancestor with apes. But to make it easier for you, Hamza, let's say Adam existed. We have fossils of humans dated 210,000 years old. So you like us to believe that Adam, 210,000 years ago, built a cube that then Abraham, 4,000 years ago, completed. The structure was waiting Abraham 206,000 years. Is that what happened? And it just happens no one knew the most significant place in human history until an Arab merchant who is telling the story happened to be local to a pagan pilgrimage, how you call it, of nomads in Arabia. What a coincidence, eh? And it just happens the previous 2,500 years of scriptures forgot to mention that. The most significant place in the universe. Of course, Dan Gibson and many other scholars, with historical evidence, demonstrated, proved, I say conclusively, that the Kaaba didn't even exist in the time of Muhammad. We cannot find Mecca in contemporary maps. Mecca didn't exist in the time of Muhammad. So the actual historic evidence, other than fairy tales, tafsirs, dragons, and Aisha spoke to Ibn Abbas, okay, other than that, actual historical evidence shown that Mecca didn't even existed in the time of Muhammad. That is a photo of Mecca, guys, of the Kaaba before Saudis struck oil. 5 statues, 2 donkeys, 1 goat, and a grocery store. That's the mother of all cities. With vegetation. Vegetation, I see, eh? Olive trees. Many olive trees, I see. The mother of all cities. That Adam made this cube, guys, this cube, as you see, 210,000 years ago.
Right. The video you're about to see is a complete and utter expose of the apostate parasite. Honestly, this should hopefully address all these parasite supporters that are slithering around in my comment section who are messaging me with regards to this Adam building the Kaaba. So, because obviously I said in our rebuttal to his complete nonsense in Psalms 84, I question, we believe as Muslims that our tradition is that Adam built the Kaaba.
No, in fact, you don't know anything, Hamza Miat. This shows your complete gullibility and how superficial is your knowledge. Okay, so you heard somewhere, Adam built the Kaaba. Now let's execute people. Okay, that's the gullibility and the, how can I say this? The level of conviction Islam demands doesn't correspond with the evidence it provides. The level of conviction Islam demands is things like, let's dismantle democracy. Okay, and the evidence it provides are laughable. Okay, laughable. Conclusion: Islam is a faith and should never be applied in politics. Okay, Islam is a religion, my friend. It's a faith. You should not try to insert Islam like a fact suppressing other people. What's so hard to understand? The evidence you have are laughable, my friend. Laughable. You don't even deserve to be called a faith. You are a comedy. But, okay, let's say you are a faith. We can barely tolerate Islam existing, being that stupid. Okay, it's okay, but we can tolerate that. But you demanding total submission of all aspects of life and world domination, you must be out of your minds. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Getting closer to pushing me off the laughing edge. I'm a loser. Sooner or later, you know I'll be dead. Getting closer. You're holding the rope and taking the fall. 'Cause I'm a loser. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm a loser. They're pushing me off the lively edge. Sooner or later, you know I'll be dead. You're holding the rope and making me fall. I'm a loser.